Welcome back to Couch Potato Radio. It is Wednesday, so we like to do Hump Day with the Herd here. Derek Hanson with you on Couch Potato Radio on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. It's a pleasure to have with me. It's hard to believe. Am I saying this right? Senior? Is that true? My goodness.
6-year senior, so been around for a little bit.
Jake Kava is with us again, Shanley grad. And, of course, you know, with me being a Barnesville native, there's Barnesville bloodlines there. So, yeah, that's for sure. And it's Kava. I mean, was that one of the weirdest things, you know, because now in my neck of the woods, as you know, it's Kava. A lot of people it's pronounced a little differently in Fargo. You've had to correct a lot of people over the years, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. We've definitely fought that battle through the years. I know Dom Izzo does a good job. I think it was my sophomore year of high school. He came up. He's like, how do you say your last name? He's like, because I listen to some of the Vikings games. I think Kava Construction. I'm like, well, no, that's actually, they say their last name wrong. It's Kava. So we got to get that straightened out. But yeah, no, it's been a battle.
It's kind of like Hanson. It's got to be the O-N for instead of the good Norwegian way of doing things. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm not going to ask what people have been asking you for the last 9 months. I know how it goes. How are you feeling? All that. But I think what more than anything else, I'm guessing you're really glad to be back.
Yeah, super excited. Obviously, like you said, I've kind of been getting asked that question a lot since last season, the injury. But just pumped to be back. Football is an interesting game. You only get to play, one game a week as opposed to basketball, baseball. You're playing, doubleheaders, stuff like that. So super excited to be back. It's been a long road, and I decided to come back last fall. You come back for this week, for game. We've played in games, the winter workouts, the summer workouts, all that conditioning, that gets a little long. So I'm not going to lie, it was a little tough for me, being an older man on the team, an old guy. I always tell my dad that, and he's like, you're not old, you're 23 years old. But so it was definitely tough during that, but this is what...
He just said his 43rd year, so let's say that.
Exactly, yeah. But no, it's definitely, you grind through those days to get, game weeks here, and, I'm super excited to be back out there with the guys.
And talk about that a little bit, because you were really coming on, too. I'm sure that was one of the frustrating things. I mean, I'm sure after all this time you were feeling it. You're starting, you're playing, making plays, and then that happens. I'm guessing that has really got you chomping at the bit, too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that was part of the reason why I was kind of made the decision so quick to come back. I felt like I was playing the best football I've played my entire life, and then obviously it's part of the game, injuries happen. But, just kind of to hopefully or pick up where I left off come Saturday, and, just keep going and, be a leader, be a presence on the edge for this defense this year.
Talk about that. A lot of new faces, and I guess that's pretty much a thing here with Bison football. There's new faces every year. It's the old rebuild, it's not a rebuild, but it's a reload. And you kind of feel that way right now?
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have some new faces on defense. Obviously, kind of the state of college football, how that is right now with the transfer portal and just everything going on. But I'm really excited. Guys like Sam Young in the back half, like he's everyone's like, oh, what do you think about Sam? I'm like, he's a tough football player. If we get 11 tough football players out there on defense, our Code Green's gonna be just fine. Sam's a tough kid. Cole Mann's gonna play a lot more. Obviously, he played last year with the injury. He's a tough kid, but we got some tough dudes that are gonna be out there. I'm excited. Just being we have 3 classes of seniors. How this is all works.
Yeah, the 2020 thing has messed everything up.
Exactly,
right?
But I'm just excited. Relatively newer, younger group. Just growing every week. Get better and better. Then hopefully, come October, November, December, we're hitting our stride as a group.
Jake Kava with us, defensive end for the NDSU Bison, 6-year senior, as we mentioned, with the COVID year being involved there. One guy is disappointing. I mentioned my Barnesville roots, obviously, Hunter Zenzen, a foot injury. People may not know that you guys have known each other going back to a long time, right? You used to work out back in your high school days when you were at Shanley. He was over with the purple there.
Yeah, Barnesville. Just obviously, when it happened to Hunter, obviously, go over to him, and unfortunately I have been in that situation. I know what that's like. So, it sucks. It's tough. It's part of the game. But he was going to be a player for us this year on the edge. He was going to be definitely in the rotation for sure, and helping us out on defense. But it's just tough. It's part of the game. Now the biggest thing for Hunter is, and one thing I think I was able to do is, you get hurt, you're not playing, but there's a lot of other ways you can impact a team and even better yourself, as far as, being a newer guy, learning the scheme, helping even our younger guys out. He's only been here for a year, but he is one of the veterans in our group, being a 2020 high school kid. So he's an older dude in our group, helping out your Mojo Wirtz's, your Vic Isley's, Abe Myers, those guys, and just being a mentor to them. He can kind of use this year to just, get down the playbook, so when he comes back next year healthy, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he can almost be like a grad assistant, right? a guy who's been, playing in the Big 12 in front of 90,000 people too. I mean, he's seen it all. So.
Yeah, and he has those real game experiences, and that's one thing. A kid like Hunter coming over, like he had played in big games and been on that stage. So it sucks that we're gonna miss him, but he'll still be a part of this program. He's gonna help us win games even with the injury.
How motivated is this team? Obviously, it was a disappointing, and it was a great journey. I mean, I think that's the bar has been set so high here. It was a great football season. Again, losing to a very good football team, that's got to be a weird feeling around here.
Yeah, and that's what I try to tell our fans all the time. I love our fans to death, but sometimes hey, we were like 13-2, and then everyone thought the world was going to end. But no, definitely. Obviously, the 2 losses, or 3 losses, but 2 losses to SDSU, that's not what we do here, not what we want to do. So there's definitely a bad taste in our mouth after that. Coming back this year, I mean, we're kind of chasing them now. They flipped the script on us. I don't think we beat them since probably 2019 was the last time. There's only a few of us on this team that are even on the field that day. But definitely an extremely motivated group. Giving up, I think we gave up 45 points in the championship game. Like, that's not our defense that we want to play. So, kind of use that all off season. Coach Kramer made sure to remind us every day in the weight room about the final score and stuff. So we're extremely motivated.
No doubt you worry about that, but then you got a big non-conference game ahead coming up at US Bank Stadium. Big football field. That's gonna be interesting. That should be quite an experience for you, and obviously a lot of alumni in NDSU down in the Twin Cities too. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Obviously, we have a huge fan base, huge alumni base from NDSU down in the Twin Cities area, and just to be able to play in a stadium like US Bank, obviously just got voted the top stadium in the NFL. And personally, I'm not a huge Vikings fan. Grew up, my dad was a 49ers fan back in Joe Montana.
True.
Yeah, so I wasn't a huge Vikings fan, but still, we're gonna be able to be in their home locker room and having like Ben Elfson will be down there. Obviously, he's on the staff with the Vikings. It'll be a cool experience to be able to play in US Bank Stadium.
I'm guessing a few of your teammates have played there though, whether it be state semifinals or finals, right?
Yeah, definitely. The most starts have played there. I know both of the Zenzens have played there and stuff. So they're kind of actually. Apparently, it's going to be pretty warm on Saturday. There's kind of like a greenhouse effect in the stadium.
Oh, for sure.
so I've never been there, but Coach Kramer and our coaches are kind of pushing fluids like we're going to be playing kind of an outdoor hotter game just with how that stadium, kind of the greenhouse effect in it.
My last question for you is, I'm going to be talking to Mason Miller here in just a little bit, the Ada Borup native, and I'm guessing in times, is there a lot of iron sharpens iron situations like that? It's fun to see local kids go at it, and I'm guessing practice, it can be pretty intense, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just especially we've all known each other for a long time, obviously. So actually, Mason Miller, Hunter Zenzen, and my brother all played on they call it like Lakes Country basketball. So they're all on a travel basketball team together. So I remember Mason, Hunter, my little brother, like being around them when I was kind of the older dude at travel tournaments and stuff. And now obviously me, Mason, Joe was on the team for a little bit, and Zenzen all playing football together. It's kind of comes full circle, but 100% like you said, me being able to go against guys like Mason Miller, Gray Zabel, Jalen Sundell in practice, that only makes us better, then we make them better too. So I think that's kind of they say like the proof is in the dirt. Like, how does NDSU football, why do we keep putting out such good teams year in and year out? It's because we practice against each other all year long, and it only makes both sides of the ball better.
Well, of course, you get to know a lot of people from other programs, whether it be the FBS level and FCS level. Do they kind of ask what the secret is? Because I'm sure there's there's got to be a lot of FBS schools that envy what's going on here too. I mean, especially with the record against FBS schools over the years.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I have some buddies, kind of guys at the Gophers, guys, kind of some Big Ten dudes, but mostly where I see is kind of like one of my buddies, Logan McCormick, who obviously played here for 5 years, and then he was at JMU, now he's at Northwestern with Coach Braun. But you don't realize how special it is, like, just picking up after yourself in the training room, picking up after yourself in the locker room, just the little things like that when you're here, it just kind of like when everyone's doing it, it doesn't seem like it's anything different. It's just kind of the way we do things. But then you get a guy like that goes to a different program and is like, hey, like there's just stuff laying out all over the place. Like, guys don't clean up their locker, like just the little things like that. Those little things build into big things. So I think I see it more often with guys that have been here and then go GA or coach somewhere else, kind of say like, hey, like things are a little bit different here and it's a special place. So.
Very interesting. Discipline. Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. Discipline.
Jake, looking forward to seeing you on the field, not only this Saturday, throughout the season. Good luck to you. Hopefully your health sticks around and you guys can be there in Frisco coming up again in early January.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You bet. Jake Kava with us again, former Shanley Deacon product. And I never did ask you, you've been taking a little pride with the Deacons last year, huh?
I mean, Coach Mattern's done a hell of a job over there at Shanley. I mean, I talk about a proud alumni. I love every day coming in here talking crap to Coach Roll, talking crap to Coach Hadbury. Hey, best team in the States in Shanley. So, no, it's been awesome.
Right. Hey, congratulations on that, too, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, Jake Kava, defensive end for the NDSU Bison here on Couch Potato Radio. It's Hump Day with the Herd here on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. Welcome back to It's Hump Day with the Herd here on Couch Potato Radio on the mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. Derek Hanson with you. A pleasure to have with us Ada and Ada, former Cougar, and Mason Miller's with us. Thanks so much for being with us. Offensive line, I just got done talking with Jake Kava. I know that you guys all of you guys have known each other over a while, and obviously iron sharpens iron. I guess that's been probably the case going back to spring football all the way to fall camp here, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've known Jake for a very long time, so going against him, he's a very good competitor, and it's good to go against him. So.
Talk about just you guys coming back here, the Rams, and the focus and the pride that you have to protect Cam and get the running game going. It's something it's a history. I mean, as far as the history of NDSU football, it's one of the top things that people talk about.
Right, for sure. You know, we like to think that we are Bison pride. You know, we epitome Bison pride, and you know, to establish that run game and be the most physical unit in the country kind of starts with us, we feel, and then to protect Cam, we never want to see him get touched. So.
When you look at this game coming up against Eastern Washington, it's obviously a different feel, a different type of style that you're facing too at US Bank Stadium. Talk about all that. I mean, to start the season, the home game on the road kind of, but in a familiar territory too, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, I've had a couple games at US Bank Stadium going back to high school, so, you know, the place is a little bit more familiar for me, I guess. You know, we have played the opponent. In my time here, we have at least. And then, you know, they're a Big Sky opponent, so we're gonna try to be physical with them, just like we are with everybody. So it doesn't matter who we play. We're gonna try to play our brand of football and go out there and get the win. So.
How hard is it not to get ahead of yourself? You got the non-conference season, then you got the conference season. Obviously, a team that you lost to twice. I'm sure that's you know, sticking in your gut a little bit too. I'm guessing it's a very cliche thing week by week, but you really have to do it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches always say go 1-0 for the week, 1-0 for the day, as a matter of fact. So if we can just win the day of practice, you know, every day that we build up a practice, only will excel us in the game, and just going 1-0 for the week is a huge thing.
When you look at just your time here at NDSU, it's hard to believe we're talking about you've been here. I can't keep track with the years for you guys seniors. Jake and I were just talking about that. You know, he's in the 6th year now, and with the COVID year, and you had a red shirt beyond that. So you're sitting at what year are you at now here at NDSU?
This is my 4th year. It's kind of a weird thing. We got 3 years of seniors, really. Yeah. So it's kind of a different thing for sure.
But talk about that time. I'm guessing it's a lot of fun for you. You sit on the western side of Minnesota looking at this program. I don't know if you had dreams or whatever, but when the opportunity was there, being a part of it now, what's it like, you know, from a kid who probably saw it now to being involved and right in the heart of it now?
Right, you know, for sure. I remember sitting on my grandma's couch watching the first win down in Frisco there, and I was just like, oh my gosh, these guys are incredible. Like, I used to make teams on Madden with just all NDSU players to go and play against the Minnesota Vikings. So it's definitely a huge part of my life, being close to NDSU and being close to Fargo. So being able to stay here and, you know, just build to that legacy has been a huge thing.
For sure, and I guess with family and friends, it's probably pretty easy to get to the Fargo Dome, even US Bank Stadium this weekend too, which has got to be a nice thing.
Right, yeah, for sure. It's awesome. I got a lot of family down by the St. Cloud area, so hopefully some of them will get to go to the game, and you know, even around here, you know, guys like Cody Malk that are an hour away, just like myself, he was always asking for 10, 12 tickets, and you know, when I wasn't playing, I was like, why the heck that guy need that many tickets? And now I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to play, and you know, there's more and more people wanting to come, and it's a really good thing to have that support group, whether I'm here or I go back home. So.
You know, obviously physically, I mean, you're a big kid. I watched you play in high school, but you obviously gotten bigger now. Coach Kramer, I know, works with you guys. But beyond the physical part of you being bigger, faster, stronger, just talk about the mental part, what this has really done for you as, you know, just a person in general.
Right. I think I've matured a lot. You know, I felt like I was a relatively mature kid in high school, but, you know, coming here, just learning how guys carry themselves, like Cordell Volson, Cody Malk, Dylan Radens, you know, those guys all hold themselves to a very high standard, and, you know, they conduct themselves that way off the field as well. So just being able to, you know, learn from those guys and, you know, just implement it in my life and just kind of how they act, and, you know, trying to act in a similar way has been really, really huge, and, you know, made me a lot better man as well. So
yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I've been doing this, you know, conversations with Bison football players here in this setting for a long time, going back to when you were probably in elementary school. And I think it's even the coaches obviously get a lot of respect, the assistant coaches, whatever, but it's always been about the upperclassmen and leadership within the locker room. That year after year, I hear that from players all the time.
Right, and that's exactly right. We're playing for the guys that played here in the 60s. We're not playing for ourselves. We're playing for those older guys that have, set the foundation, laid the foundation for NDSU football. When I was a freshman in my second year, I got the opportunity to play, and every game I played was for those older guys, I wanted to watch Cordell ride out on the sunset. I want to watch Cody ride out on the sunset. Obviously we didn't get that. We weren't able to achieve that last year, but this year I want to watch those 6th and 5th year guys ride out on the sunset. There's nothing more special to an underclassman than to bust your tail off all year and then watch all that work that you put forth to one day know that it's going to come full back to you, and hopefully you ride out on the sunset as well.
Obviously, in a loss like that, it eats away at you. But, I mean, I think what's kind of tough because the bar has been set so high, I was talking with Jake Kava about this, is the fact that was a pretty good football season last year. I mean, you lost a close game to an FBS school and 2 games to the eventual champions. But I guess the good news is everyone expects more. The tough news is, man, that you can't really settle for anything less. But yet it was a good football season for you guys. And you battle a lot of injuries up and down your lineup, too.
Right. That's the thing. Our standard is to win every game. Our standard is to be the champions. Our standard is to be the best. And when we don't achieve those goals, it's really hard. It seems like the world is crashing sometimes, but it's really not. This year we have the same expectations to go out and win every game, be the champions. So hopefully we can achieve that this year. I know we've put forth a lot of work and a lot of effort this off season. So.
Looking at everything that's going on here, seeing a guy like Cody, I mean, obviously you're focused on this upcoming year, but do you think about it sometimes down the road, what that might be like? I mean, obviously you have the size and the stature to maybe be looked at. Have you been, the NFL people talk to you at all, or?
I have not. No, I'm just I'm worried about this season.
Right.
I like I said, I just want to win all.
Not get ahead of it, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It'll come to you if you have a good season, pretty much.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's been proven here for many years. If you're big enough, strong enough, fast enough, good enough, they're going to find you. So that all finds itself out eventually.
It is amazing, isn't it? I mean, when you look and you see teammates on these preseason games, that's got to be something to see, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. We're watching Cody Mauk and Spencer and Nash Jensen all getting playing time. It's like, holy cow, that is just amazing knowing that.
Hunter running over everyone, too.
Oh, my gosh, he had an amazing game the other night. Yeah. So it's just awesome that we played with those guys and seeing how well they're doing. So.
Well, good luck this weekend. As you mentioned, you played at U.S. Bank Stadium before, the state semis and all that, so it's always a fun experience. Have you been kind of trading what it's going to be like for a lot of those guys? Obviously, you mentioned the warmth, but that's going to be kind of interesting thing, too, is those windows and the sun comes through it gets pretty warm in a pretty quick hurry.
Yeah, it does. I think Coach Kramer's got something dialed up for us this week.
Pickle juice going on.
Yeah, to increase the heat and then to get us hydrated. So we'll be ready. But
people have heard of him a lot. He's kind of the spark plug for everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he is the backbone. I mean, he is what makes this place run. It is unbelievable the job that he does and the care that he puts forth to this place. When they say lunch pail mentality, he has it. He is the first one here and the last one to leave. So we are very, very thankful for him, and he just does an incredible job.
Yeah, the strength coach, one of the more unheralded parts of a big college football program, that is for sure. Mason, good luck to you this season. Great to talk with you, and we'll do it again down the road.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Again, Ada native Mason Miller with us here. It's Hump Day with the Herd on Couch Potato Radio. Derek Hanson with you on the mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.